Hi, good evening. My name is Marisol Colquitt, author of Finding True Love Through Online Dating, a Christian Woman's Guide, now available on Amazon, Ingram Spark, eBay, as well as my website, www.marisolcolquitt.com. And today I've actually just uploaded an ebook on Etsy, as well as, of course, the hard copy or the paperback. And again, now it's available on Amazon, and if you want to check it out, it's only $4.99 on Etsy right now as an ebook. Tonight, I just wanted to go through the introduction of my book because I really wanted to encourage people to check out online dating. If you're a single woman or a single man and you've been praying, you've been waiting for your future spouse and nothing has happened for the past 5, 10, maybe 12, maybe 15 years, of waiting, of pursuing, of courting, or trying, or dating. If you've never done, if you haven't found anybody right now, after all these years, I really encourage you to try online dating because I found my own true love online, obviously. And if you're still on the fence about online dating, maybe you've heard about it, but you're not sure if you should try to go online, then check out my last video that I did with my husband, our first time together. And we did give you reasons why you should try online dating. And to me, one of the reasons that I gave is that, hey, you might meet so many more people online that you ever will offline. So especially if you're shy, I've seen people who, I think I've mentioned in another video that, they like each other, both the man and the woman, they're both shy, and then finally they meet up and then both were like tight-lipped. they didn't know what to say to each other. So if you're like that and, you really wanted to break from that, like you really want to be freed from your shyness, then you really need to try online dating. Tonight, I just wanted to go through the introduction of my book. But before I do that, I wanted to share with you the table of contents, just to whet your appetite. Because again, I wrote this book because I really wanted to not just encourage, single men and women to try online dating, but to really give them the tools necessary to be successful online. When I went online dating, when I first tried it, it was like I was really scared. I didn't know what to say, didn't know what to expect, and I was too shy and too embarrassed to tell anybody that I'm actually going online dating. So I didn't have the tools like you would if you grab a copy of my book. I didn't know what to say, what to expect, what questions to ask, and I wasn't. I'm a very careful person already, so I kind of knew what to do and what not to do, but I was still really shocked, almost like culture shocked, when I first tried online dating. So if you're somebody who's like that, you've never tried, or you really want to try and you don't know where to start, this is the reason why I wrote the book, to really provide you the tools necessary to be successful. Because you don't want to just, if you've already waited years or decades waiting for love offline and nothing has happened, when you are finally ready to try online dating, you want to make sure that it's actually going to work. So why not try and find out what you need to do, what you shouldn't do, the things that you need to do and the things that you shouldn't do in order to be successful online. Okay? So the table of contents, 40 and waiting. Here I kind of share how it was for me. I was already 40 years old. And I was like wondering, Lord, am I ever gonna get married? I'm telling you, when I turned 35, I really thought that I'll never get married. Because it's like, you're 35, like everybody around you is married. They have babies, they have kids, they're busy, and those who are older than you, they've already given up. So I really thought that maybe there's no more chance, because I started praying seriously for my future husband when I turned 27. I was traveling a lot, and I thought that, I have the time of my life. I have plenty of time. I'll think about it later. But when I turned 28, that's when I realized that, hey, nobody's pursuing me anymore. I had admirers, but nobody was actively pursuing me. And then the former suitors, they're kind of disappeared, and then I looked around, they're married or they have kids already. So like time flew without me realizing it. So if you're, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, and you have not found success offline, I really encourage you to try online dating. Again, 40 and Waiting is where I wanted to share, with other women out there who might be in the same boat as I was 6 years ago. A second chapter will be Stuck with the One. This is where I address, a lot of people think that, or a lot of people believe in the one. I actually met somebody who was divorced 3 times, and he was still believing in the one. And I was like, how on earth can you have so many done ones? One, and then you've been married 3 times, so you have 3 done ones, so, and even now you'll see it on Facebook, you'll see it, you'll hear it at church. People are still believing in the one, but it's actually unbiblical. And to find out, you have to read my book. And the third chapter is online dating for you again. You probably wonder, well, maybe that's only for other people, but it's not for me. Well, you'll never know if you never try it, right? So again, check it out. Chapter 4 is Debunking the Myth, Is Online Dating a Sin? I share in the book that one of the people that I know that I respected was kind of like confrontational with me, and he was kind of letting me know that I was committing a sin simply by creating an online dating profile. I was like flabbergasted. I was like, where on earth is that coming from? So again, if you're one of those people who think that online dating is a sin, that's why you're not trying it, but you're already 40 years old, you're 45, or you're probably 50, I think it's time for you to wake up, okay? And again, it's not a sin. And then the next one is online dating worth the risk? Well, again, if you're already nearing 40s or late 30s or 50s, I think you should really be taking the risk, because again, your spouse is not going to knock on your door. Hey, I'm your spouse. Here I am. I'm here to marry you. It's not going to happen. Okay? Your spouse is not going to fall on your lap. You have to do something to. It's great to pray. Prayer works. But it has to be followed with action. Okay? Faith and prayer. Faith without works is dead. Remember that. So if you're not going to do something about it, then you might as well wait all your life. And then, is finding love online better than finding love offline? To me, I said it's subjective. If you met your spouse online, then of course, like me, you think that online dating is better. But if you've met your boyfriend, future, maybe your fiance, then naturally, people would say, oh, offline dating is better. But for people who always say that online dating is crap, but have never tried it, then what they're saying is also crap, right? So a lot of people, they bash online dating without even trying it. So you don't have any right to bash online dating if you've never tried it. In my book, I never say online dating is better. I only say that I like it because that's where I met my husband. But it's going to be up to you to decide whether you think online dating or offline dating is better or worse. And then the next chapter, chapter 7, is pros and cons of online dating. There are pros and cons to offline dating. So, of course, there are benefits and there are disadvantages to online dating. There are so many disadvantages. There are so many disadvantages to offline dating too. So check out my book to find out the pros and cons of online dating. And honestly, I'm very transparent in the book. I share my own experiences, the mistakes that I made, and even in the introduction, you'll find out about that. And I'm not ashamed to share it because that's the only way people will learn. And again, I want to keep people from getting hurt. I want to prevent them from, falling prey to predators, because there are predators online as there are predators offline. Okay, so again, you have to check it out. And then, of course, the online dating safety tips. I provide a comprehensive list of things that you should do, you should not do, things that you should avoid, things that you need to be looking out for, the red flags, so because again, to me, there are many things that a person can make, many mistakes that a person can make. And I know, I am quite aware, I'm cognizant of the fact that teenagers, they meet an older guy online and then they meet offline and then they get raped. Okay, and then of course I'm well aware of older women, in widows in their 60s, lonely, and then they get scammed. So a lot of these things, I'm well aware of that, and I'm very transparent. I laid out, these are the things, these are the dangers of going online, but these are the things that you can do to protect yourself, to protect your identity, to protect your private information. And you know what, even if without joining online dating, a lot of people are sharing too much already on Facebook and Instagram. They post their children's schools, or they post their address. Some people, they even post their passports. I mean, come on. So there's so many things that you shouldn't do. And again, it's a very comprehensive list of the things that you should and you should not do online to protect yourself. Chapter 9 talks about the top 3 recommended online dating sites. And of course, I share what my husband and I used and what we prefer to use as an online dating site. Chapter 10, of course, is crafting an irresistible online dating profile, or how to craft an irresistible online dating profile. I'm not just going to give you all, the do's and don'ts without letting you know, helping you what to write, what not to write on your profile. And again, it's the same thing, some people share too much and some people share too little. So I laid out, I tell them why you should and you should not say too much or say too little, or what to say or what to write in your profile and what not to write on your profile. Chapter 11, 121 questions to ask him or her. I don't give you 20, 50, 100 questions. I give you 121 questions to ask, and I break it down to conversation starters. A lot of people, it can be nerve-wracking if it's your first time to talk online. Let's say you met a decent guy, seemingly decent guy, you really like him, you were chatting online, and now it's time to go and talk on the phone or maybe talk on Skype, but you're really nervous, you're a nervous wreck because you don't know what to say. Well, I got you, don't worry, because in this chapter I provide you a whole lot of questions that you can ask to break the ice, and then I also categorize it according to questions to ask before you get serious. You want to make sure that this is the guy that you really want to get into a relationship with. And then questions to ask before you get engaged. There are questions that you can ask before you get engaged, but there are questions that are best saved before you get engaged or after you get engaged. For example, your past, past relationships, or sexual sins, for Christians, that's important, or maybe you have a child already and the person you're dating didn't know that. So again, there are many questions that you should save before you get engaged, and there are also questions you need to save before you get married. A lot of people, I share in the book that I heard it on the radio. The people, there was this couple who, they were both Christians and they got married, and the lady had always dreamt of becoming a mom. But 2 years into their marriage, and the guy declared that he doesn't want a baby. And of course, the wife was naturally devastated. But what can she do? Does she divorce the man because the man I don't know if the guy lied or that was really a new development. His excuse was that, this world right now is full of chaos. I don't want to bring in a child into this world. But I just thought that was unfair. So what can the woman do? It's like, and to me, divorce is a very sensitive topic. I believe that you can only divorce your spouse because of infidelity. Well, the guy just doesn't want a child, so that's not infidelity. So I honestly don't know what happened to that. So, but you have to be honest. Before you get married, you have to be honest about these things. Do you have a big loan that you're keeping from your fiance? I knew of a couple who got engaged. When the fiance found out that the lady had a big personal debt, the guy broke off the engagement. To me, it's like, that's not right. It's like, come on. Just because somebody has a loan shouldn't be a deal breaker. But you do need to be honest about it. But they weren't married yet. The girl did not keep it from him. They just got engaged, and the following day, the guy found out that the lady had a debt. That's not a reason to break off the engagement. So, but I don't think that you should tell your boyfriend about that because you're not really committed yet. You're just in a relationship. But after you get engaged, that's when you talk about it. But that shouldn't be a reason, unless, of course, you're not willing to work it out together. Okay, so these are the questions, that I share in the book. And of course, I also share what kinds of questions should you be looking out for. Because I'm not just going to give you a list of questions, but I'm not going to tell you what to look out for. Of course, I'm going to tell you, like, okay, you can tell if a person is being honest or not. It can't be just yes, no answers. You need to ask probing questions. Okay, and in chapter 12, top 10 things to do together, virtually or in person, because there are many things that you can do together, even virtually. You can watch together a movie that's probably playing on Netflix, this hour, or whatever, or HBO at this hour. You can watch it together and then talk about it later, or you can watch it separately and then talk about it later, or you can read a book together in the same book and then discuss chapter by chapter, because that just helps you in keeping in letting the conversation going. Because if not, again, if you happen to be both shy, then you will probably end up just staring at each other, not knowing what to say to each other. So again, it's important to know the things. Again, I provided tools that you need to find somebody online and hopefully, end up being married to that person. And of course, at the end, I share how I found my own true love online. It really should be how my true love found me online, because he's the one who found me. But anyway, again, the book is called Finding True Love Through Online Dating, A Christian Woman's Guide by Marisol Colquitt. It's now available on Amazon, Ingram Spark, Etsy, as well as my website, www.marisolcolquitt.com. And here I go. I'm just going to go through the introduction is very short. It's actually 1 page. Okay, bear with me. Can you really find true love online? This is one of the most common questions I often get asked. My short and simple answer is an unequivocal yes, because that's exactly what happened to me. And I can't think of a logical explanation why it can't happen to you. The next question that often follows this is how? And that's precisely why I wrote this book, to show you how you too can find your own true love online, because it's really possible. In this book, I reveal the secrets to crafting an irresistible online dating profile, what to write and what not to write, what to look for in a profile, and what your potential mate will be looking for in your own profile. I recommend the top 3 dating sites that I personally used. I outlined the advantages and disadvantages of online dating, as well as safety tips that you should follow. I provide an exhaustive list of questions that can help you break the ice and get to know a prospective partner in life better. I address commonly asked online dating questions that might be plaguing you, and so much more. I know exactly where you might be right now. I, too, waited, fasted, and prayed for my future husband all my life, 40 years of my life. Actually 39 years of my life. I remained faithful and preserved myself for 40 years. There were times I thought I'd never get married, especially when I turned 35. I actually thought, this is it. I'm never gonna get married. But then, in the most unexpected way, God answered my prayers through an online dating site. Totally unexpected. God gave me an amazing man who turned out to be everything I have prayed for, and even more than I could have ever hoped for. We have been happily married since. That's why I'm excited to share with you my own experiences, good and bad, so you can learn and benefit from them, so you can avoid the mistakes I made. The struggle is real, I know, but you do not have to go through life alone anymore. You do not have to wait any longer either. Give online dating a try. It may just be the right channel for you. Millions have already met their spouses online. It's time for you to have the same success. While I cannot guarantee that you will find your own true love online, I can promise that this book will increase your chances of finding the godly man or woman of your dreams. But do not delay. If you do not act now, you could end up waiting all your life. The tips and tricks you're about to read will surely help you navigate the complex online dating world like a pro. Each chapter walks you through everything you need to know so you can have an exciting and positive experience. If you follow my advice in this book, there's no reason why you won't find your own true love online. Okay, that's my introduction. So join me next week. I'm gonna read through the book chapter by chapter every week. So again, join me. Finding True Love Through Online Dating, a Christian Woman's Guide, available on Amazon, eBay, Ingram Spark, my website www.marisolcolquitt.com, as well as now on Etsy. Both ebook and paperback are now available. Look for Marisol Colquitt or Really Good Content Shop. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. People are buying my book on Amazon, but they are not leaving a feedback. So please, I hope it's positive feedback. If you have been blessed by my book, please do let me know, because I really would love to know how my book has impacted your life. Okay? God bless. You are beloved. You are loved. You are chosen. You're anointed. You're important, you're valuable, and God loves you, God knows you, and God has not forgotten you. Bye-bye.